Sublevel Zero is a sort of a procedural, roguelike, 6 degree of freedom shooter. We started developing it as a Ludendare game jam back in April, I think. We polished up a prototype from that. Mastertronic picked us up and we've been working on it since October. This is the first sort of event we've been showing it at properly. This is kind of our first public build. It's quite exciting. The basic idea is you're in these zero gravity environments in a gunship, and you can move in all directions. You can go up and down, side to side, and all the rest of it. The dungeons, as it were, are procedurally generated. So every level you play is different every time. You're looting and crafting, so you're picking up a lot of new weapons, and they're all randomly generated. They've all got different stats. So if you craft together two sort of high-spec weapons, then the thing you get out of it will be high-spec as well. It's the randomization element of a roguelike, but we're also trying to make it player-guided, that if you want to play it, so if you want a tank, then you can upgrade your hull more. If you want a DPS, you can build your ship that way. So we have the campaign mode is sort of the main mode, and as much as each level is randomly generated each time, there is a progression to it. So the earlier levels start off a little bit easier. The later levels have more enemies and more loot, and there's a new game plus mode and all that sort of stuff. The basic inspiration is Descent. It's for anyone who's played Descent, it's very obvious. Also other sort of games of that era like Forsaken, but as well as sort of more modern games like Teleglitch, when we're bringing in kind of the roguelike aspect and the procedurally generated things, and the sort of our simple but powerful crafting system. The Rift is getting a huge response. Like, people are putting on the headset, playing around for a bit and taking the headset off and literally saying, "That's awesome." I think the mixture of this sort of the fully 3D movement mechanics and being able to move around the enemies in all directions, up and down, side to side, that plus the Rift is a really unique experience that people are really kind of responding well to. It's something we've had in mind from the start, and we're really taking a lot of care over making sure the integration is good. So we played a lot of demos and a lot of other games and sort of taken our time to work out what aspects work and what doesn't. So we spend a lot of time tweaking how the integration works, and it's really important that it feels comfortable, because you potentially could get quite disorientated because your ship can roll, it can go up and down, a lot of things that you don't get in many games. So if you're playing it on the Rift, and it's amazing without the Rift, but obviously there's that something special with the Rift, we're really aiming for that to be a really comfortable experience. I think the key feature of it is that you've got this instantly accessible arcade combat that's instantly fun. You know, you go in, you've got a controller, you're shooting bad guys, you're moving in all directions. It's amazing to begin with. And then we've got all this depth as well as that, with the looting and the crafting and the procedural generation, that you can sort of immediately play it for 10 minutes and love it, but then you've also got hours and hours of other stuff that you can really sink your teeth into later as well. We are aiming late summer, but at the moment it's a little bit early to be saying too exactly. We've got a lot of work to do on it, we've got a lot of content to get in, but it's going really well.